There's your rainbow friend is back. Notice how the trees broken off by Hurricane Iniki that hit the island in 1992. That's a Category 4 hurricane with 174 mile an hour gust. Now we're going to head out towards the west side of the island where it tends to be a little more dry. You guys are probably aware Kauai is the wettest place in the United States. We get about 450 to 500 inches of rainfall a year. You can see up on the right. But as you move to the west, out in front of us, you can see it tends to dissipate and become very dry by comparison. In order to get to the Waimea Canyon, the road is along the shoreline to our left. There's no roads up where we're headed now. We're going to cross another canyon called Olokele Canyon. Olokele Canyon is about 23,000 acres. All this land below us in the next valley belonged to the Robinson family. They're originally from Scotland. They had lived in New Zealand for 23 years. It's a lady named Eliza Sinclair and her husband. Her husband was in the Royal Navy. The husband and the eldest son of 6 children were lost at sea, and then Eliza Sinclair couldn't live there anymore. It was too sad. So she decided to buy an island off of Vancouver, Canada. On her way there, King Kamehameha heard about this lady who was going to buy an island. He wanted gold, so he decided to sell her the island to the left of us called Niihau for $10,000 in gold in 1864. A year later, in 1865, he wanted more gold, so he began selling her land here on Kauai. She'd get about 51,000 acres on this island, including this next valley right here, which is 23,000 acres. No roads, no buildings, no people. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? This is where people start to wonder what types of animals are there out here. And this is where you might find the black-tailed deer on the west end of Kauai. Down on the shoreline on the left is a river going out into the ocean. That's where Captain Cook landed in 1778. He was only on Kauai for about 2 weeks. You know, his timeshare ran out. But he left here, went up above Canada, ran above the Alaska and the Arctic ice. Couldn't get through. Decided to come back here, wait for the ice melt. He was trying to find a passage above Canada to England. He had sailed around the world twice before. Of course, was in Australia. When he came back here to wait for the ice melt to try again, he landed on the big island of Hawaii at Kealakekua Bay. You may remember landing in Kona. That was about 20 minutes south of there by car. They have a monument there. That's where he lost his life when a conflict erupted. Up on the right is the top of the island, referred to as the Alakai Swamp. That's more of a bog than a swamp, but they call it a swamp. Notice the red color is from the iron oxide in the lava. Now if you take a piece of metal and it starts to rust, it turns to powder. That's the soil you see on the top. The lava has iron in it, so as it cools it turns black. And then it rusts into powder and spreads all over here. On the right is a canyon called Waialae. Then there's Ko'ai, and the third one back there is Po'omau. There's 3 ventricles that make up the Waimea Canyon and then the center section. You might notice there's some trees blushing with a yellow glow down there, Catherine. Those are called Australian silky oaks. We have a lot of vegetation from both Australia and New Zealand. In an effort to make Hawaii look more tropical, they brought plants from your country and New Zealand. The idea was if you brought plants, you know, they were marketing mainland Americans. If you brought plants from Wisconsin, you'd come here and say, well, it looks like home, right? So they brought plants from Australia and New Zealand, but today we're marketing to Kiwis and Aussies. You guys come and say, what? That looks like home. That is, hopefully the terrain is different enough that it's giving you still an exciting time too. Over on the left here is where the lookout is at 3,400 feet. There's another one straight ahead of us. There is a picnic table right on the point, so people will hike to that. Now we're going to head out to the right here is the transitional area on the west end of Kauai to the Nepali coast. That's some of the most spectacular cliff lines in Hawaii over on the Nepali coast. You'll be able to see the road that drives up here.